subscribe.
This is Morning Juice.
All right, we got a surprise for everybody. And I don't know how this came to fruition. It may be the largest hour we've ever had on this program. It started with Albert Breer at the top of the 8 o'clock hour. Then we checked in with three-time Super Bowl champion Matt Light. Then at 8:30, we checked in with A.J. Hawk. And now we're heading out to the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline, checking in with national championship head coach for The Ohio State University. He is Ryan Day. Coach, thanks for the time. What's going on? You running around here, driving around? What's happening?
Yeah, we're, it's been nonstop since the game, and, last kind of day or two on the road recruiting here in Ohio. I was listening to the show and I thought maybe I'd call in.
Absolutely, Coach. We really appreciate it. There's no rest for the weary. Have you had a night to be able to sit down just with Nina and the family and relax and kind of enjoy it all?
Yeah, a little bit here and there. It's a little bit of a, people have asked, have you been able to enjoy it yet? It's kind of a hybrid, where, the game doesn't stop and we got to keep moving forward. But at the same time, we've had a few moments, had a few dinners to just kind of smile, enjoy, and take a deep breath. But, hoping, maybe throughout the month of February, once we get into the dead period, get everything organized with the staff, we'll be able to get away and spend a little bit more quality time together.
What has your travel schedule been like this week, Coach? Because I'm everywhere. Kelly Clarkson and then Jimmy Fallon, and you were on with Ernie and Chuck. Now, that looked like a Zoom call, but, how many miles have we logged this week?
Yeah, we've quite a few. Yeah, it started in New York City and kind of went all across the globe and up and down. But, but it's what we're trying to do is we're trying to really jam in, almost a month worth of recruiting in about 5 days or so, just because we ended so late. It's very unique because of how late the game was. So good problem to have, but still everyone's working hard on the staff.
You made the staff comment of trying to straighten that up. And what's the timeline on that defensive coordinator, obviously to replace Jim Knowles? As you look forward, last year, obviously the offensive coordinator situation, eventually landing on Chip Kelly. How pressing is that versus the recruiting that you're trying to do?
Yeah, so there's points in the recruiting cycle where it becomes, like you said, very pressing to get things done. We have signing day next Wednesday, but it's really not very significant for us. So, we want to be thorough, make sure we're doing, what's right moving forward. But, we want to have as much continuity as we can. And I think I've learned that watching, guys like Nick Saban and, different coaches who have had success for extended periods of time, to make sure that you have continuity, in all three phases. So we want to do that. We feel great about the guys we have on staff, but we also want to make sure, we're looking at other options out there and being thorough in our search.
You said Coach Ryan Day with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. Coach, what's your philosophy on guys taking interviews? And I know that you've popped around from place to place before we landed here in Columbus as quarterbacks coach, then coordinator, and then obviously to head coach. Your thoughts on letting your staff go and kind of take some interviews and get some experience with that?
Well, you feel like when you have an opportunity to, and enhance, your career, then I think, it's great. And, there's certain opportunities, for guys that, you don't want to get in the way of. But at the same time, we have the best job in America here at Ohio State and the best place in America and the best fans and the best, players. And so, there's a lot of reasons to want to be a Buckeye. So, we certainly want guys who want to be here, but at the same time want to make sure that, you understand that, guys have earned opportunities to enhance their career.
And so, obviously, an unprecedented season, as we talk here to head coach Ryan Day, national champion out on the road recruiting, and it went longer than ever before. And I just saw the date released for the 2026 season, 27 game. I think that date, Ryan, is the 25th of January, so even further back. Trying to balance, obviously, all the mid-year guys came in. They're already committed. You had transfer portal guys come in. You've had a huge exodus of veteran players who are a huge part of that national title run. Trying to balance now getting guys, like Caleb Downs, Sonny Styles, Tiger Shabola, dudes who have played, some of the receivers have played a lot of snaps, having their leadership and then integrating the offseason with Mickey Marotti while also bringing along some of these young guys. The lot's been made. You saw they've done the videos of the first meeting last year of how you're going to go forward. Has that happened, and what has this offseason kind of been like so far, and what's it looking like?
Yeah, so I feel like we've really adapted well with some of the changes that have happened over the last, in particular last year, last 2 years. I feel like, Mick did a great job. The coaching staff and players did a great job of playing really fast down the stretch. I mean, we were fresh and we were playing fast and we were seeking contact late in the season, and I think that was very important. And so as you look at the number of games we played, it's very similar to an NFL schedule. So I think we need to look towards that model and make sure that, we're looking at it through that lens of, the entire year. When spring football, was the way it was, 10 years ago, spring football was, 16 or 15 hard practices. I think we need to take a look at that. Now, our young guys need work, but some of the older guys who have played a lot of football, we also have to make sure that they're a part of the team, they're with the team. We're not going to separate them, but we need to treat them a little bit different. That being said, though, even looking at the calendar, I really think, CFP needs to take a hard look at this calendar because, the fact that we had 145 guys on our team and incoming players and transfer guys coming in with our team for 2 weeks, I mean, there was some positive things there, but there was a lot of things that were challenging. And I really think we need to take a hard look at where we're playing this championship game and moving everything to where the season should be, over before classes start in the spring semester.
Coach, I know we're looking forward right now, and you're on the road, and you're in Ohio, and you're recruiting, and you're out there. As we look back onto the 4-game run, because Bob and I asked this question just to each other, and was there a moment that you felt like catapulted this team to what we saw kind of in the playoffs, and whether that was a great performance against Tennessee and then going to the Rose Bowl and handing it to Oregon, Jack's scoop and score, the big pass on 3rd down and 11 to Jeremiah? Like, was there a catapult moment that you felt like got you guys going in the right direction in these playoffs?
I think that when we came out of the tunnel against Tennessee, and we saw some orange out there, but we also felt our crowd. I mean, the crowd in that game, anyone who was at that game, that was the most wild atmosphere I've felt in the shoe. It was just a great atmosphere, and our guys embraced that moment right there. And just the way we came out of the tunnel, I just had this feeling like something special was about to happen, and the way we came out in that game. And but when that ball bounced up into Jack's hands the way it did in that moment, I knew we were going to win a national championship. I just, there's just times where, you got to keep swinging, and there's times where the ball doesn't bounce your way. And, our motto all season has been leave no doubt. And, being aggressive and throwing that ball on 3rd and 11 was our way of leaving no doubt. And, it was a great run. But my favorite part of it all is just to see our players, but also just the fans. And I can't tell you how many people have had just great, things that they've said to our family. They've reached out, the smile on people's face from across the country in Buckeye Nation. I mean, that's what this is all about. And, we're certainly working towards next year, but, there's a lot of, people that are so excited about how the season finished.
Coach, a lot of people say, great offensive mind, great quarterback coach. Your oldest son, RJ, I believe he's got his license now. After watching that young lady drive you into the wall, do you feel like you may even be a greater educator on the road for your son?
Yeah. I said, we just got done playing the national championship game and winning the national championship game. And it just brought me right back to, when I was in high school with a couple of my drunk buddies on a golf course running into a brick wall or something like this. But it was fun to watch Will and Cody laugh because, I think they saw my face and they couldn't stop laughing. It was crazy. And she was driving fast through the field. I mean, it was more stressful than the end of the game.
Absolutely. Coach, and one other thing, we had Albert Breer on earlier, and he tweeted out something. A bunch of people pushed out to it, and some people in the chat were just talking about it, trying to support your foundation with Nina. If you want to give a quick plug for that, that would be tremendous.
Yeah, we have two funds that we're very, very proud of. One is through Nationwide Children's and the Kids Mental Health Fund, which is very, very important for a lot of reasons. And what Nationwide Children's does in terms of being on the forefront of children's mental health, it affects everybody, and you don't quite understand until you're in the middle of it. And I think being a part of that is critical, and it's not a moneymaker. So philanthropy and people giving is really what drives it. And then the second one is really through the university and what Dr. LaJuan Fawn is doing and building a case study for identifying what the risk factors are towards mental health and what are the things that are causing some of the mental health issues across our country. And this is going to be a study that hopefully changes the way that we look at mental health for the next few decades. So both of those are tremendous, and we're proud to be a part of those things and want to look forward to really taking the next step as we move into the next 5 to 7 years here at Ohio State.
It's tremendous. Coach, we appreciate the time. Thanks so much for giving us some of it today. Best of luck on the road recruiting. Thanks again. Big congratulations on the national championship, and we'll check in again soon, okay?
All right, boys. Thanks. Go Bucks.
There he goes, Ryan Day with us here. Surprise appearance.